off on the Birdman, like ban it, like ban it. And like what we were talking about earlier on in these series, what's it called? The Leyline Seal plus APOC is actually insane, and I've seen it destroy my team so many times. Like, it's horrifying, and that's what I wanted to see come out from these teams. You know, you play that combination, you will actually destroy people.
Yeah, because we did see that earlier tonight. They went for Lightning Breath, and I was sad.
Me too.
But all right, I've actually switched this over to the draft screen because I'm good at this, and I know what I'm doing. But this is it, guys. Over 5 weeks of play, the top 8 teams have made it to the finals, and this is it. The winner of this best of 3 will be able to declare themselves champions. The Heroes Hype Tempo Storm series. A lot on the line, man. Every decision, every draft choice, every rotation, every call matters. For these amateur players, I mean, this is biggest stage is in.
Real quick, 4 guys on the left, banning off.
Yes.
Okay, so 4 guys. They do look to ban the Greymane. Okay, there's the counter Anubarak. I like it.
I mean, we've seen what Anubarak can do all night. First pick here for 4 guys in a legend. Tomb of Spider Queen, again, a map that or battleground that brings a lot of synergy as far as wave clear goes. So, you know, Gul'dan's not the worst first choice, I feel. We've seen a lot of emphasis on Malfurion earlier in drafts.
Yep.
I think that would be a very strong selection as well.
Might even want to try to see what these teams pull out.
Solo laner. Yeah, I mean, the decisions here are all going to be interesting because the time for coyness and holding things back is gone. Like, this is it. You win this best of 3, you're the champion. So I don't think you hold anything back now.
No, not at all. Wow, okay, so the Tyrael picked up first for 4 guys in a legend. So we saw them playing it earlier. Actually, really, really strong performance on Tyrael, so they are looking at that. But what's interesting to me is you ban off the Greymane and then you pick the Tyrael. So what are they looking to combo with that dive on the Tyrael? That's the real question.
If I'm on the side of the new guys, I'm using every second I've got to try to figure out what kind of strategy I'm going to put together here. Because, you know, Tyrael Greymane is a synergy as old as time, or as old as these heroes have both been in the game.
Yeah.
So you ban out Greymane, you first pick Tyrael, you're just like, okay, this is Tomb of Spider Queen. A lot of times you actually see Tyrael as the solo laner.
True. Yo, respond with Gul'dan something. Like, just respond with something early. Because Tyrael's early game, you know, there's no kill pressure that he brings out. There we go. Gul'dan Malfurion. I was just going to say, respond with Gul'dan something. Malfurion is a fantastic pickup with the Gul'dan, but that's like what you have to do here. Like, they're obviously looking for that level 10, you know, hard team fight. If they want to first pick Tyrael, let them. Like, let them do it, and let's just bring something stronger early. Like, the Gul'dan plus Malf, like, you know, the teams that get this first turn-in on this map have a substantially higher win rate than teams that don't. So, you know, picking up that Gul'dan plus Malfurion means you can actually get that first turn-in a lot easier. So, Tyrael plus what is the real question? Like, do they want Kael'thas with it? Are they looking at picking up, like, a Cassia? I'm actually not sure.
Well, I mean, you definitely predicted the Gul'dan Malfurion. I actually would have considered Ariel Gul'dan, just because if you are looking down the barrel of some super heavy engage, then you got Crystal Aegis to kind of negate that. If you're going solo Malfurion, you don't have much in the way of burst healing. Tyrael and Diablo, the Angel and the Devil.
Fair enough.
With the Demon Hunter.
Yeah. No doubt, eh? The Vala gains increased value on this map just because she's got really strong wave clear. So she can, you know, do decently well into this Gul'dan. She's not going to fall too far behind. So, and the Diablo picked up for 4 guys in a legend. Is that the denial?
It was rather inspiring.
Yeah.
I would say. I mean, Diablo's a hero that can do well on this map. This is a rotation-centric map, especially early game. You rotate around, get that shadow charge, overpower. If the lockdown follow-up is there, you can definitely have yourself a pretty decent time. It's not really shown itself just yet, but there are 2 heroes yet to select for 4 guys in Legend.
Pick off their early game strength and support. Like, ban the Rehgar. Ban something that's strong early. Like, really don't think you have to target the mage here. I think you should target their early game support. Or that. Tyrande is also a very strong hero early game, and it obviously gains a lot of value with the Diablo, so it's a pretty good ban there. And obviously the Tychus as the counter, because they are looking at the multiple warrior composition. So, now where do you go if you're the new guys? Honestly, like, they have so much option here. I say flex their solo laner and pick up your warrior plus... what do you actually do? What is it? Is it like the Arthas?
I would consider. I would go Johanna
over Arthas.
Yeah.
Why is that?
You get the blind on Vala.
Okay.
You get the blind on Diablo potentially. You know, if he's out there, and you get the wave clear.
Johanna has a lot more wave clear and a lot more early game pressure. You're absolutely correct. Sacrifice a little bit in terms of the team fight later on, but do you actually need that when you have all that early game pressure?
I think you do, because you don't have a lot of lockdown just yet. If you're relying on Horrify for a hard interrupt to something,
yep,
you're kind of having a bad time. If there was already a stun or something, then I'd feel a lot more comfortable with Arthas. But I just feel like especially if you're going Leoric.
Perfect. I was going to say flex the Leoric. I don't think picking it up here was the right call, but I guess they might have been... No, there's no chance they run triple warrior, Tyrael, Diablo, Leoric. I say picking up Leoric now is not the call. They needed to wait for the Leoric and just flex it, pick it at the end for sure, because yeah, there's just no way that Leoric gets picked up for 4 guys in a legend here. It just doesn't really work with their comp. But that being said, you know, Johanna, so you were absolutely right. They decided to go with that over the Arthas and Leoric. So really good draft from both of these teams so far.
What?
Okay.
So I was thinking, like, all right, you take Johanna Leoric here, that allows you to have your second backline damage dealer, you know, be best positioned to counter what 4 guys in Legend put on the table. But I wasn't expecting Probius.
However, this is the team that plays Probius, right? Like, Legend is known for Probius. So, and on this map, it's one of Probius's best maps. So, actually, like, if the new guys did any research on 4 guys in the Legend, they would have known this is a thing, because they definitely do this, and they've done it before. So,
I feel like it puts the Diablo in a weird spot, though.
Yep.
Because, like, you really only have Polymorph at this point, as far as CC following up the Diablo engagement, and you don't have any burst healing to keep him alive. So now you're relying on Sanctification to keep him alive in these engagements. If the new guys can get through all that, okay,
cool. I don't like the only spell damage coming up for the new guys. Like, all they have is spell damage from Nazeebo and Gul'dan. You know, much more rounded damage coming up for 4 guys in a Legend. Both of these comps are really weird. Like, you're right, the Diablo doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and honestly, the Tyrael doesn't make a lot of sense either. Tyrael, with, like, Probius and Vala, like, are they looking to get engaged on? Is that, like, their goal here?
I'm not sure. It just feels like there are warring philosophies going on with these compositions, because it's like, if you're gonna go for Tyrael, I'm imagining it's like, all right, we want someone very dive centric. You jump in there, you see Diablo show up, it's like, all right, I get that, but then you don't have any burst healing. You take solo Brightwing, and then you go for wave clear with Probius, who isn't really a dive, you know, burst style of damage. He does damage, but like, it's not like, hey, we're jumping on this guy. Like, let's go ahead and I don't know, man.
Hey, these drafts do go, or sorry, these games on Tomb of the Spider Queen do go very late, so the Naz may gain value late game. We'll just have to see. I'm really excited about this one, Lauren.
Yeah, I mean, this is it. Best of 3 over on the left. 4 guys in a Legend. LZ Gamers on Tyrael. Legend is playing Probius. Taliant is on Vala. Elheim is on Brightwing. And Jin is playing Diablo.
And on the right, in red, is the new guys. We've got Fromgor on Malfurion, Grim playing Nazeebo, Ataro on Gul'dan, Stu Manchu on Johanna, and Santa Claus marching his way forward on Leoric.
I would echo your comment about the Nazeebo selection. If anything, it kind of salvages the solo Brightwing, because once they get the spell armor add-on at 13, that's really going to help negate a lot of the damage that new guys brings to the table. So, an interesting choice.
Yep. Honestly, just put Nazeebo or someone in lane against this Probius. that can de-push and then seriously just go push elsewhere. Like the draft from Four Guys and a Legend, they don't have a lot of wave clear in anything aside from Probius, so just force elsewhere on the map. And so they do have Nazeebo into the solo, but he just manages to get a little bit caught out by Jhin on the Diablo. Wave is pushed in now, but no casualties.
Yeah, I mean, with solo Brightwing this early in the game, I feel like the name of the game for the new guys has to be Stop Probius.
Yes,
I agree with you there. I bring everyone back to the fronts of our faces.
I think stopping Probius later is good. Right now, I just ignore him. I actually don't think he's going to be able to do a crazy amount to the top side of the map as long as you have Nazeebo up there. If he pushes up too far, you can zombie wall him in and chunk him out. If he pushes up too far in general, you just land, like we've got a Thing of the Deep, increased range for Nazeebo. So like you can land spiders onto Probius. He's going to take half of his health bar. Like put Gul'dan mid-bottom and just force structures down there. Like they might be... the new guys might be able to gain enough of a structural advantage early to try to snowball themselves into the later game. Like that's all they need to do, because I don't know. It's so weird. Four Guys in a Legend, they have like the team fight. They've got Diablo, they've got Tyrael, they've got Vala, but the Probius is just so weird. But I do think just ignoring Probius and pushing elsewhere would be the best way to deal with this. What do you think? Like how do you think that the new guys secure their first turn in? How do you think Four Guys in a Legend secure their first turn in?
I think the new guys have to kill Probius a lot. I think you just have to punish. You have to punish the early solo Brightwing and punish the squishy health bar Probius. You let him go around and do whatever he wants. You got wave clear, but I don't know if you got that much wave clear. You're leaving it down to 1, maybe 2 team fights otherwise. That's pretty high stakes, I think.
Okay, I can appreciate that. The rotation goes to the bottom lane onto Santa Claus. The Drain Hope does miss. Talent doing a bunch of damage there on the Vala. Gets Leoric down to half health, but nothing more. And another boss.
Another boss. So bring him back to the fronts of our faces.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back.
Hello, Governor.
All right, so standard talents. Oh, no hyper shift from Brightwing. That's fine though. Soothing Mist range. So looking to just keep Brightwing around the middle portion of the map, trying to heal up as many people as possible. Makes sense.
All right. While we're doing all this, there is a request for people want to see our heads apparently during the draft. So that's a thing now, or it could be a thing.
Our heads, as in like just you and I talking.
Well, I added production value, man.
Oh, nice.
Fly out here.
Okay, I feel it.
Wow, Alheim said Jhin has a potato computer. See, if they win this set, the prize
new computers. Yeah,
prize pool could help with that. So never know. Had a couple 3-2-3s in the chat, but yeah, looking at the talents, Purge Evil, not too surprised. Gather Minerals, again not surprised. Hot Pursuit, okay. Increased range for Brightwing, okay. Devil's gonna need that.
Yeah, totally.
I guess if you're Nazeebo, you're worried about getting jumped on, and you are going up against a Brightwing who has spell armor reduction, so maybe the Spider Talon won't get you the value that you were hoping for. So I guess I can understand that to a degree. Regen Master, Hopelessness, standard choices there. If you were not going to take Nazeebo, because you're like, all right, look at the spell armor reduction from Brightwing, we kind of, hurt our chances there. Who would you go for instead?
Isn't it Cassia?
Oh, you got
I think
Johanna
it's the Cassia.
as well.
Yeah, you got Johanna. You have the blind value onto Vala. Cassia gains a lot of value in any sort of like choke situation. So if your opponents do get the web weavers, you just pop that charge strikes. You get massive amount of damage, and they don't really have any means of getting onto Cassia and killing her. Like there's just maybe there's a shift onto the Tyrael who dives onto the backline, but that just puts your Brightwing in really bad position. Like, I actually think Cassia would have been a crazy pick here, but, what are you laughing at?
Just,
in the chat?
Look at the chat. Look at the chat. I don't even know if I want to say that. It's a little BM, man.
Same. Flipping same. But okay, but the biggest story here is going to be Four Guys and a Legend closing out this game before that Nats hits 20.
I guess, well, the end part of it, so someone on Four Guys and a Legend said, why the chicken crossed the road? The Grim, and Grim was like, why? And it said, to get bodied by Santa. Ouch. The beginnings of a grudge match for next season of Heroes, for sure. Look, we're back in the game now. Both of these teams are level 3, no takedowns just yet. A lot of pressure in the bot lane, 3 members of Four Guys. Try to get what value they can. Santa Claus is hanging out. Like, I'm not sticking my neck out there. What do I look like?
I mean, for early picking at Gul'dan, this is not looking good for the new guys. Like, they're losing top lane. They're losing, I guess, push pressure on the bottom lane. Mid's pretty equalized. Actually, the flip goes out on Stu Manchu, but the Iron Skin there to equalize everything off. And, like, look at Legend top side. Like, this is insane.
I mean, this is one of those something's gotta give moments for the new guys. It's like, you gotta try to make something happen because you're losing out on all fronts. You're getting your bottom lane pushed in. You're allowing Probius to get maximum value effectively for free. And you're not applying pressure anywhere on the map. So, like, you gotta go somewhere and try to get a takedown. Or else you're gonna be finding yourself getting shoved back more often than not.
And now Legend actually, like, starting to zone with his pylons and pushing up with the Rift. So, like, this is exactly what you want when you have Probius on your team or in your draft here. So, Four Guys and a Legend actually making this work way better than I thought it would.
They're doing it well, and I feel in a lot of ways the new guys are enabling this kind of value to be had. Santa Claus Wraith walks out and almost gets taken down, an auto attack or 2 away from dropping his coin purse. Kala, I go back to the well that what new guys need to do is shut down the Probius. He's a low health pool hero, not around by any support. You get a heavy rotation in there, there's enough burst damage on that team that Brightwing can't teleport.
That's true, but we just see so much pressure, so much pressure being put in the bottom lane with the double heroes from Four Guys and a Legend that I guess the new guys don't know how to deal with it. You know, you have Taliant down there, and it's usually the LZ Gamer on Tyrael as well. So 2 pushing bottom lane and so much pressure going out from top lane with the Probius pushing up too. I think you're absolutely right, actually, given the circumstances. The new guys needed to put 4 mid-top and just rotate into this Probius, clear out those pylons as much as they can. But that being said, Turnin does go over to Four Guys and a Legend, and they have level 7s.
New guys struggling on all fronts right now. First set of Web Weavers will be here sooner rather than later. 4 members of the new guys trying to defend this bottom lane. Again, allowing Probius to maximize their value against a solo Nazeebo. Not the biggest deal in the world this early in the game. Wave clear is going to be there from Stu Manchu to try to knock down this Web Weaver. No heavy aggression just yet from either team. Standard fare, but this is a long-term race that definitely stands to favor Four Guys and Legend. Uh-oh, Stu Manchu targeted. Shadow charge. Take it down.
Yeah, definitely really solid kill there for Four Guys and a Legend. And also just, like, look at this top lane. Like, this is insane. Like, this is actually crazy. And this is the hardest part about Team of the Spider Queen. Like, if you lose early like this, like, you know, worst case scenario, or usually worst case scenario, you lose like 2 walls off of a first turn in. But here we see almost 2 forts and 3 walls. Like, that is not good.
It's not what you want.
No.
It's not what you want by any stretch of the imagination, but the bottom 4 is going to get taken down by the time all things get played out. 24 gems still in the pockets. 17 rarity turned in for the new guys. I mean, like I said, how do you lose on all fronts? You let Probius do what he does. You lose out in the bottom lane. It's a huge experience lead in favor of Four Guys and Legends as well. It's tough.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane at this point. Like, super difficult to deal with because now Probius is going to be able to push forward like this, pile on this like mid top, and then just be able to push top lane, walk mid, push mid lane, and then all of a sudden the new guys aren't going to be able to get any turn-ins throughout the game because there's so much wave pressure from Four Guys and Legend.
Really shutting down in Nazeebo. Pick LZ Gamer finds himself the topic of conversation. He was able to queue out of there thanks to Eldrune's might. Jhin has plenty of health and mana to sustain. Another fort gets taken down. With the heroics now on the board for 4 guys in Legend, they can continue to press this advantage. The long-range Shadow Charge goes in, Polymorph follows up. How do you respond? Sietaro step forward, Taliant rotates in, getting some chip damage. You're a full level away from your heroics, so you can't even really afford to stick your neck out there too much.
Exactly, and 4 guys in a Legend, they see that, and they're just looking at level 13 now. Like, level 11's almost picked up already for 4 guys. Like, and this is what I said, like, Probius is just... What we got?
If there's a way to get back in the game, it's not going to be with Santa Claus getting caught in the bottom lane, dropping 28 gems, and the zoning's going to be there. That is a net loss for sure for the new guys. Stu Manchu starts to back away, cutting their losses, but that is a huge blow.
And Turnin's
the new guys.
Turnin's also, you know, going to be available for 4 guys in a Legend as well. And that's going to be 2 back-to-back because level 10s aren't going to be able to show up for the new guys in time. Like the snowball here is actually crazy. I've never seen Probius do this before.
It happens when Probius is effectively left alone in the early parts of the game and you're not able to get takedowns anywhere else. I mean, there have only been 2 takedowns so far in favor of 4 guys in Legend, but it's been enough to create a situation exactly like this. You got your heroics now though, so if you're the new guys, it's like, alright, cool.
Very true. So they are going to look to contest this turn in. Stu Manchu looking to push up and get his 26 gems turned in, but denied by the Golden. Or sorry, no, that was the Diablo for 4 guys in a Legend. And bottom side of the map, everything gets turned in. So 4 guys in a Legend with the 2nd turn in a row. They're closing in on level 13. So the new guys need to make a play here. They need to force a fight real hard.
They do have some options available to them. Now that they have their heroics, Blessed Shield can be the initial engagement. Entomb can isolate some folks as well. You capture Probius and Entomb, that's going to be a really hard hero to sustain when you just solo support Brightwing. But it's going to have to take some really time-honored coordination. Sanctification saves just Tyrael for the moment. With one of those huge heroics down, this could be it. Santa Claus throws in the Entomb. They invest heavily on Taliant. Can they get the takedown? First takedown is here. The zombie wall drops in. Twilight Dream goes in as well. The Horrify gets cleansed out. Jin's low on health, gets taken down. He'll be back in a few seconds though. LZ Gamer, the next topic of conversation. LZ Gamer, Tyrael finally blows up. He tries to take someone down with him. Not gonna happen. That's how you get back in the game, and Legend drops as well.
Yeah, like that is exactly as we said right before that unfolded. The new guys needed to look for a team fight, and that was pretty much the best one they could have asked for. You know, the Sanctification got forced out really early by Tyrael and wasn't able to protect any of his teammates with it. And then shortly after that, Vala ends up going down. So 13's now closing in decently soon for the new guys. You know, we might look to see them forcing up and trying to take a turn in and swing this game in their favor. But look at the bot side.
Look at Grim down bottom,
yep.
Juking and dancing for his life. The Polymorph goes in. He actually should be able to get out of here in time for the rotation. They trade Vala for Nazeeba, or do they? Grim does finally go down, but the teammates are there to pick up his gems. So you get Vala, still down to talent tier. 38 gems. Stu Manchu gets just interrupted by the Legend.
That actually worked out really well because trading 1 for 1 when you're down in experience is actually advantageous for you. And they were going to die, or Nazeeba was going to die and lose all those gems. So, and now it's on a warrior. So that was actually really, really good for the new guys.
I mean, I'm sure Grim felt a little bad. He's like, all right, guys.
Yeah.
Like, a little help. But like, we're kind of busy killing Vala again. So, well, what gets you gems, man? It's cool.
111 gems available for the new guys. They have to get this turn in. This is so spooky.
The poke is here, though, for the 4 guys in Legends thus far. Brightwing's going to teleport in. Stu Manchu has to step out in zone with 44 gems. Santa Claus does as well. They throw out the Entomb. No effort for the moment committed to turning into gems. And this is a huge moment for 4 guys in the Legends. Santa Claus is able to Wraith Walk out of there in time and save his coin first. Stu Manchu's going to start to back away as well. He gets a good amount of damage put on him. And surprisingly enough, 4 guys in the Legends hold on and deny this turn in for the new guys.
Like, you've got to be feeling the heat when you're the new guys right now. Like I said, there was 111 gems available for their team. Like, they need to get this turn in. It's like you're put in these odd situations where, like, you have to try to get a turn in, right? But you don't want to push up that far, especially with nothing to fall back to. Every single fort on this map is gone. Like, they have to get the turn in, but they don't want to risk it. Like, that's so scary to be the new guys. Grabbing this camp, however, gives them a little bit more of a leeway. So they have pressure in this mid lane now, so they can actually look at turning bottom side.
Talina is also busy getting that bottom siege camp, so it's up to the rest of the teammates to get these interrupts. And so far, they're successful. So LZ Gamer jumps in. Talina was able to get the camp in time, so they're here now. The poke is going to be absolutely real. No one's rotating up towards the top portion of the map to try to sneak the turn in yet. Level 16, far off, but not too far off the 4 guys and a legend. So if this goes on forever, it's going to be really rough for the new guys.
Yep, again, the new guys are just forced into making a play here. Like, they absolutely have to get this turn in. The flip does go over onto Johanna, but the Iron Skin immediately pop there. Jhin taking a lot of damage now. Santa Claus managed to land the Drain Hope, but no follow-up onto Diablo. And both these teams are equalized again. 16's closing in fast for 4 guys and a legend.
Every second that passes goes in the favor of 4 guys and a legend. Santa Claus again gets interrupted. I think he should have rotated up top a lot sooner instead of trying to go in and get damage on Jhin. He just rotated up and vanished. Could have gotten some value there. The boss call is surprising.
It is surprising, especially considering how they're nowhere, or not even pushing into 16 right away. But the new guys didn't see it. Like, they're expecting something else entirely. I think actually Grim walked it up, but. No, they didn't manage to get it. And now 16's coming in real soon for 4 guys and a legend. Like, the new guys are really, really hurting here. But they managed to sneak in the turn-in, so.
I get the idea behind 4 guys and a legend going up and getting the boss. It's like, all right, we're not too far from 16. We can get the boss first, and we'll have 16 by the time the boss really makes its way down. But you are guaranteeing a Web Weaver set against you. So you're minimizing the value out of both the boss and the Web Weavers, making it something of a neutralizing gesture, but I don't know if that's something they needed to do. They succeeded so well in getting poke that they could have just waited for 16 and just kept fighting.
Oh yeah, then you're absolutely right. And to move back even further, when you're saying that Leoric needed to get that turn in, when they had that Bruiser camp pushing up mid, like, they had complete control on the right-hand side, and there was no pylons or anything available for 4 guys and a legend. So yeah, the sneak top side would have been perfect. You're absolutely right about that one. And especially what you just said there about not getting the boss, just denying the turn in, just do that. Get 16, you're totally right, too. So, like, force the new guys to fight you on spots where you want them to fight you. You have Probius. Just set up all of your defenses and let them fight into you. You're right.
I mean, I learned from the coach. I mean, the overpower goes in. Jhin tries to get something started. LZ Gamer eats a good amount of damage themselves. I mean, all 4 guys in the legend have done is really kick the can down the road towards the late game, but that's where the new guys want to be. They want to get Nazeebo to level 20 as soon as possible. So that decision could come back to bite them for sure. But we do see Shadow Charge go in. Diablo putting a lot of damage in on Stu Manchu. He Iron Skins himself out of there, though. Lightning Breath not getting too much value. Santa Claus forces back LZ Gamer. Strafe is going to go down as well. 52 gems in the pockets, 4 guys in the legend with no interrupts. They should get another turn.
Absolutely. The domination talent coming up huge there for Diablo. We saw the health bar on Johanna get chunked down like 60%. Almost died there with, I think 56 gems at the time. So, okay, at this point, 4 guys in a legend need to look at getting a keep. Like, they absolutely have to. They should just be forcing topside. Like, because if they don't get a keep, they're not going to have that passive pressure that they need in order to try to close out this game as early as they can. Because, as we see, level 20s are closing in. The new guys, if they can hit level 20, not down a keep, they can win this game.
Definitely. Keep an eye on Gul'dan. His ability to defend against this is going to be very important for the members of the new guys. If he can Fel Blast everyone back and not allow them to get a lot of damage in. I also like Santa Claus applying pressure to Legend before he can posture forward and get a lot of siege damage in. 21 gems, even if he goes down, would not be the worst thing in the world when you can save your top keep where the boss walks down. Nicely done by the new guys so far.
Actually fantastic play there from Leoric. And now the zoning in tune as well, just to, secure a little bit more damage onto that Web Weaver. So what an incredible defense from the new guys. Like, they recognized that the win condition for 4 guys in a legend was to push top lane. They need that keep so badly, and they defended it perfectly. That flank was insane. Like, that bought so much time.
Santa Claus went around in the back and went up the Probius and was like, just poked at him for a little bit, long enough to divert the attention. 4 guys in Legend. He's even able to get out of there with his own face attack. So, a near perfect defense by the new guys.
Yeah, that was really excellent. 4 guys in a Legend now feeling the heat as that level 20 does close in for the new guys. You know, they're invading, they're taking away camps.
Ooh.
And the red whip, there's that sneaky turn-in. That's what we wanted. Johanna with the turn-in on the top side. Again, just stalling out this game, waiting for the level 20.
Oh, sneaky Stu comes by and gets the turn in. The top
It's your boy.
Nicely done again by the new guys. LZ Gamer is going to be able to queue out of there, but the extended Drain Hope range, a little bit more pressure on him. Web Weavers are here now, so it's looking like the new guys will finally be able to venture to the other half of this map. They've been only on the defensive pretty much the entirety of the game.
Yep.
Middle lane, Web Weaver gets cleared out near immediately by 4 guys in Legends, so value's got to be had in the top.
Absolutely, and they're just looking at trying to take out some structures instead of multi-soaking, so it's actually a good idea considering how they want to get turn-ins later on in the game. So structure is probably a little bit more important than soak at this point, because honestly, it doesn't look like 4 guys in a Legend are going to be able to close this game out in the next level and a half. So I actually liked their idea to push top instead of soak bottom. So, you know, they also have the Web Weavers down here. They're going to be able to take this last tower. They might even be able to grab a fort with some of that damage from Gul'dan coming in, especially considering how there's not a whole lot of setup from Probius so far. Do they stay down here? We'll have to find out.
I mean, getting the top forward has already opened up the map enough for that boss later on in the game, so I feel like the new guys already got what they wanted. All they need to do now is not die, get to level 20, make sure Nazeebo completes that quest, and then look, they'll melt faces off, because the late game Nazeebo is a whole thing to deal with whether you have spell armor or not.
And that Thing of the Deep is going to gain even more value. I can't wait to see some of those spiders cling on to this probe, see how much damage it does. It's going to be pretty sick.
Dude, Nazeebo's gonna be shot putting those jars of spiders from like across the
So level 20 now for 4 guys in the Legend. They have the zoning power of Probius, so they're stepping up onto this boss. They want to make a power play. They need that keep real bad. So really good call from 4 guys in the Legend to focus on this boss. Giving another turn-in over to the new guys, though.
I like this call a lot from the new guys. You burn another set of Web Weavers, but you defend against this top lane adequately, and you also slow the game down enough to get yourself to level 20. Because again, once you pick up level 20 for Nazeebo, it feels like a very different game.
Yeah, and Leoric isn't going to have enough time to pick up 20 on the bottom side, because that does not secure them level 20. So he needs to clear this wave and immediately back. Like, absolutely, like, back, like, right now, please. Because this is actually really scary topside. 4 guys in the Legend might look to try to force some picks and close out the game if they can.
They might be able to do exactly that. Level 20 yet is still not picked up from Gord. Low on health, does get taken down without Malfurion, and a healthy boss still collapsing down. Level 20 might be a hair too late. With Gul'dan getting blown up, I do believe the 4 guys in Legend have done enough damage to end this game. Indestructible does proc for Johanna in just the nick of time. Can the members of the new guys save this game, Colin?
No! No, they cannot. Like, oh, Lauren, like, Leoric needed to back, dude. Like, he absolutely needed to back 100%. Like, there's... Okay, you know what happened earlier when they sieged top, and what did Leoric do? He didn't care about experience. No care about experience. He just cared about zoning off the Probius. That's what he had to do. The fact that the new guys didn't see that as a viable end condition for 4 guys in a Legend was a major macro misplay, and something I actually didn't expect them to do, because they were actually playing really well all of that game, and they lost at the very end there. I was saying when Leoric is down bottom, I was like, yeah, you can clear this first wave, but don't go to the second one. You cannot hit level 20 before that boss closes in onto your keep. Like, you're going to lose the game.
I think what we saw there, Colin, you know, the last time they pushed top, Santa Claus rotates around in the flank. They do no damage to that top keep.
Yeah. It was
Santa
awesome.
Claus is in a rough spot. He's got to try to get level 20 for his team, right? Or that's what they felt, and I get it.
Yep.
So he's up there picking dandelions, trying to get level 20. Probius is allowed to step forward at all. Keep gets immediately shredded. I think they have to just do the whole jazz hands thing again, even down their 20 talents, and just shake Probius up enough to be like, hey, and then get out of there and buy time again, because
Like, I'm 100% with you on that one. Like, that was their only play. They had to defend as 5, and they just had to focus on the boss, like, as much as they could. Boss ended the game there with, I think, like 10% health left, 15% health left. So if they just played safe, looked for that engage from Diablo, like, I actually think, like, Mouth needed to play back a little bit more too. But yeah, it's just, teams, when they get put in those positions, it's really difficult, especially as, relatively newer teams. The new guys haven't been a team for a crazy amount of time. So situations
like
like
they're
that,
the new guys or something.
Situations like that are difficult to deal with as a shot caller. So I definitely feel for them, but next time they'll learn from it.
Could have turned the game around, but ultimately the macro pressure from 4 Guys and the Legend holds out. I thought the new guys could have turned it around. I would have been really surprised and impressed. But at the end of it, siege pressure is too much of a thing. We were talking about it all through the early game. Letting Probius effectively do what they wanted to do the whole time, bad for your health.
Yeah.
Because, the early game was the difference between that top keep wall being there and not for that last boss push.
Yeah, you're right. Like, I have actually very, very little experience playing against Probius. As you can see, there's like no teams in NA that actually play it. I personally just don't even think Probius is a very good hero. Very easy to shut down. But so yeah, that was actually, I think the fact that they had a Gul'dan, the new guys had Gul'dan on their team and they didn't, use Gul'dan to rotate mid top to try to counter that as hard as they did. Yeah, it was just difficult. I always see no point defending boss without 20. There is. You don't lose the game if you defend. I don't mean to sound weird or anything like that, but you have 2 conditions. If you keep Leoric in the lane, no matter what, you lose the game. No matter what. Like 100% you lose the game. But if you bring Leoric back and fight, even though you're down a talent, like you can win the game that way. Like you can at least defend that way. Probius needs to push up onto your core and onto your keep in order to gain value. So like having that extra body actually would have determined, I think, the difference in the loss there.
If Leoric went up there at 19, intuned Probius, and died in 5 seconds, that still would have saved the game.
That's 5 seconds of Probius not smashing on your on your structures, right? Like the amount of value that Leoric can get, like we saw it earlier. We 100% saw it earlier. Leoric was the differential factor of 4 Guys and a Legend pushing up and stealing that top keep early. And I think if Leoric rotated like immediately instead of going down even for that first wave, it would have been a completely different story because the boss wouldn't have been pushed up as far as it was. Leoric wouldn't have had to back and then walk into the fight. He could have done the same thing and flanked on the side. So
it wouldn't have been ideal. You don't want to take a 19-20 fight if you can avoid it. But what we pretty much saw was Santa Claus was like, "Hey guys, I got us level 20," and Frumgor was like, "Hey guy, we're dead."
Yeah,
like it was just over. So I
100% see what the new guys were trying to do there, and that's honestly, it's so difficult making those calls from those positions. So I really do feel for their shot caller. You want to know what I like best about that? Even though they lost that game, the shot caller made that call to have Leoric stay bottom, and the team followed up with it. What's more important than the team losing based on that call, which you can argue for or against, is the fact that the team followed it 100%. And if that happens over a long period of time, you are going to have a really good team. And that's actually all that matters. So good on them for following the call. They're going to learn from it. That's seriously all that matters.
Follow the call goes a very long way as far